So you know that point in a relationship where you feel like there's a problem, but you don't know what the problem is. And so you are tasked with the responsibility of finding out this problem and fixing it. But you're worried because you don't even have a clue of what the problem is. But of course, you know that there is a problem because you can feel the distance between the both of you. You can feel like the bridge in your communication. There's like a breach in your communication, and you can even sense that there are secrets that you're keeping from you, and then you guys are even fighting constantly. Anyway, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to tackle this unknown issue. So stay tuned. Hello, my name is Eniola. Yes, my name is Eniola, and I help young Christians build and sustain purposeful relationships and live out growth-centered life. So I don't talk about me today. If you want to know more about me, just go to my website, enyolamakinde.disha.page, enyolamakinde.disha.page. So back to the main topic. So before I go ahead, I should let you know that these things happen, right? It doesn't mean that you're a terrible person or that you're insensitive or that you're not self-aware or all of that. You just you're human beings, right? And there will always be friction, sometimes at least. So these things happen, right? So don't beat yourself up about it. We just need to find the issue. So the very first thing you need to do, actually three things that you need to do, right? The very first thing that you need to do is that you need to trace it. Like try to trace it. Try to trace it. So what string of events led to you feeling this weird feeling? Right? What string of events led to it? So let me give you a very good example. I noticed that he started giving one-word answers when we go back from my parents' place last week, right? So that is very, very specific. Or I noticed that he stopped picking my calls after he met my best friend, Angela, whatever. So be very specific and try to trace it. Be very specific, try to trace it. So that's the first thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do is you need to try to wait. Before I go on, have I said this? I don't think I have. Well, subscribe. I mean, I'm going to be on next week to talk to you about your path to personal growth and how you can release the next version of yourself ASAP. Right, so don't forget subscribe. Very, very important. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Anyway, so the second thing that you need to do is you need to think about why those sequence of events would lead to them behaving the way they are behaving. So trace why. Why would those sequence of events lead to them behaving the way they are behaving? Is it that they weren't ready to visit your parents? Is it that maybe the project or the meeting they went for in Abuja, it didn't go well? Is it that maybe they visited their own parents and then there's a lot of pressure on them to take some certain actions that they're not ready for? Is it that maybe something is just not right with where they went to or whatever it is that happened? So you need to just think about it. Don't assume. It's very important for you to not assume because you don't know what happened. You don't know what's going on in their head. Do not assume. Just think. Now, the reason why you're thinking is because these thoughts will be important in step 3. So don't think. Don't assume. Just think. Don't assume. Step 3. Step 3 is you need to finally have the talk. Right? It's going to be a difficult conversation. It's going to be a difficult talk, right? But you have to have it. And you're not having it in a judgy, oh, you've been ignoring me kind of way. You're having it in a, I care about you and I want to help you kind of way, right? Because you want to create an environment, a loving environment where they are comfortable enough to be honest with you and to tell you the truth about how they're feeling and why they've been feeling like that, like to spill everything for you, right? It's not going to happen in just one conversation. It might be a series of conversations, right? But this begins the process for you. And you are not having this conversation because you want to reply them. It's not that everything they say you do best. No, that's not what the conversation is for. You are having this conversation because you want to listen to them so that you can help them, right? And whatever the problem is, however difficult it is, the single solution here will be for you to be there for them, right? As long as it's not against your values or anything, you just really, really, really want to love them how they want to be loved, and you want to care about them. You want to be there for them. So I said 3 things. Number 1, try to trace when it started happening. Try to trace the string of events that made it to start happening. Number two, try to trace why those events would make them feel like that or would cause that type of breakage in your communication. And number three, have the conversation with them. Number three, have the conversation with them. Number three, have the conversation with them. So now, whether or not these three things will work is dependent on if the both of you have been on the same page, since you started dating. If the both of you have been on the same page, then this will definitely not be hard not to crack. It's something that you can pull through. It might be a bit difficult, but you'll be able to pull through, right? But if you both have not been on the same page, it might not be as easy, and there's a possibility that this will bring up the things that you have both been dodging, the conversations you've both been dodging, the serious conversations you've been dodging. This will bring it up, right? So either way, it's an important process for you both, so go for it. Whether or not you've been on the same page or not, it is something that you need to do, so go for it. Anyway, so if you haven't yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. And I'll be on next week to talk to you about your personal growth and development so that you can release the best version of yourself ASAP. So I'll see you next week, Friday. Bye.